it is a supply chain related concept. Under this concept, what we should know is, I'm saying, I already told you that today's companies, they are not manufacturing everything. They are outsourcing their activities, getting some of the work done through others, and then they are selling the products. They are assembling the products and selling the products. That's what companies are doing. If that is the case, how will the company decide which component it should make by itself and which component should it get it done through others who are experts in that particular product? So how do you make this decision? So to make the decision, we have to do certain analysis. So one such analysis is value chain analysis of Michael Porter. See, Michael Porter has proposed a concept called as value chain concept. According to this concept, all the activities in a company, all the activities in an organization, they are categorized as primary activities and secondary activities. Are you all with me?
Sir, please repeat one.
Michael Porter has given a concept called as value chain analysis of an organization. Value chain. Value chain. Value chain analysis. Can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
According to value chain analysis, all the activities in the organization are categorized as primary activities and secondary activities. If you see this diagram, can you recollect something? The upper part of the diagram is called as secondary activities. Secondary activities in value chain. And the lower part of the diagram is called, it will denote primary activities. Can you see the board? Can you all see the board?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you see this diagram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So according to Michael Porter, see, this is very important concept, and I expected that you will be knowing, because this is one of the important concepts which is used for analyzing the companies. Have you all heard about SWOT analysis?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about SWOT analysis? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is SWOT analysis? What is the full form of SWOT?
Strength, weakness, opportunity,
Strength,
and
weakness,
threat.
opportunities, and threat.
Yeah. Why do we use that? Why do you use it? What is the objective of that analysis?
So find out the project, like what are their in what area they can improve their product.
Okay.
We can find out that.
Okay. In which area do you apply SWOT analysis? Okay, which functional area of business will you apply SWOT analysis? Which functional area? Will you apply SWOT analysis in marketing or HR or finance or supply chain?
Marketing, sir.
You use SWOT analysis in marketing.
Marketing, yes, sir. We use
that. Okay. Others, can you just give your opinion?
Sir, the section which is weak.
Yeah, please come again.
The section which is weak.
The section which is weak.
Yes, sir, or not performing well.
You will try to find out using SWOT analysis.
Yes, sir. In the marketing, we usually do the SWOT analysis to find out the weaknesses and what thing we can do in the product, so the sales and the product will be improved.
Others, do you don't know, or you don't want to just participate in the class? May I know what is your opinion?
Mainly, SWOT is used to take decisions, sir. So whenever decision is needed for particular, sir, we can say department, so we will use SWOT analysis there.
According to segment also, sir. According to segment,
we can do SWOT analysis.
Yes, sir.
Decision is based on that SWOT analysis. Whatever
decision is based on
strength and weakness and threat, opportunity.
Okay. Agreed. My question is, in which area do you apply SWOT analysis? Should you apply SWOT analysis only in marketing or only in finance?
Sir, mostly in marketing, sir.
We do SWOT analysis mostly in marketing.
Yes, sir.
That's what you feel. So finance students don't need SWOT analysis.
No, sir. Need.
Finance students need. HR students don't need SWOT analysis. HR students.
No, sir. He or she have to also do a SWOT analysis.
They should or they should not. Can you please
They
comment?
should, sir.
They should.
Yes, sir.
See, SWOT analysis is not very particular to a department. In fact, for the company itself, or for example, can I do my own SWOT analysis for me?
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
a company.
Yes, sir.
Individually, can I do a SWOT analysis of my own performance,
Yes,
my
sir.
own abilities?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
if I can do it for me, if I know what are my strengths, if I know what are my weaknesses, if I know what are the threats for me in my job, or if I know what are the opportunities that are there outside for the kind of career that I'm pursuing now, I will be able to take necessary decision. For example, if I'm strengthier in something, I will try to improve that. If I'm weak in some areas, I will try to reduce that weakness in that area. So this is what I do individually. Yes or no? Individually, I can apply SWOT analysis. You agree with me? Do you all agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, when I can do it for myself as an individual, can I do it for the entire company?
Yes, sir.
Can I do it for one complete company, organization? Can I do it for a particular department?
Yes, sir.
Can I or no?
Anything, sir.
I can do it for the entire company. I can do it for one department. I can do it for marketing. I can do it for finance. I can do it for HR. I can do for a particular department. When I can do it for me, why can't I do it for the department? I can do it for an organization. See, SWOT analysis is a very important analysis. I don't know if I can ask this question or not. May I know what is that you will be taught during your placement sessions? I just want to know out of curiosity. You will have you are having this placement session separately, right? Subject wise or specialization wise. Are you all able to listen to me? Am I audible?
No, sir. No, sir. No. Hello.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you go for this placement training, whatever is given to you, is it specialization based, or how is it going on? Is it only for soft skills, or is it also for domain skills?
Basically for soft skills.
Sir.
Your placement training, which is going on now, which started, it is focusing more on soft skills, not on the domain skills. Am I right?
Yes, sir. It
Yes,
totally depends on my job role, sir.
See, one after the other, can you please answer? I just want to know two or three answers so that I can orient certain things when I'm explaining.
Sir, firstly, they are focusing on soft skills, then also focusing toward what is the requirement in JD. According to that, they are providing training to us.
Okay. So you're also given some certain domain specific skills also.
Yes, sir.
In your placement training. Fine. So the reason why I'm asking is whatever concept that I asked you yesterday, we were discussing one general topic. You remember what was the topic that we discussed yesterday? Something which is not very related to supply chain. We discussed one concept yesterday. What is it? People who were there yesterday. What are the concepts that we discussed yesterday? I told it is there in all areas. People who were there yesterday. Naveen, are you there? Naveen is not there. Sheikh Abdul Rahman.
ATO, MTO.
Sir, push-pull strategy, decoupling point.
Okay, now I'm talking about the general one. Did we talk about this? What is this?
Sir,
Did we talk
economics
about
of scale, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, EOS. Did we talk about EOS yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, economies of scale. I told you the more you produce, the lesser the cost, higher the profit. Did we talk about this?
Yes, sir. Got
See,
it.
there are certain management concepts. Irrespective of your specialization, you should be knowing, because those are the basis for analyzing the organization and then taking a decision. Irrespective of your specialization, whether it is finance or marketing or HR, there are certain management concepts which you should be familiar with, irrespective of what kind of interviews you see. One such kind of concept is this economies of scale, which we discussed yesterday. So today, what we are discussing, I asked you about SWOT. You remember SWOT? SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is one concept which is required in all areas. Similarly, why I talked about SWOT there is, like SWOT analysis, we have value chain analysis, which is also common to all the departments. Am I making some sense? Am I audible? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, I'm saying there are certain concepts which are common to all the departments, irrespective of your specialization. One such concept is value chain analysis given by Michael Porter. Like how SWOT analysis is very important for all the departments. You can do SWOT analysis for all the departments. Similarly, value chain analysis is also important from the organization point of view. What is the purpose of value chain analysis? According to value chain analysis given by Michael Porter, all the activities in a company, they are categorized as primary activities and secondary activities. Am I clear? All the activities in the organization are categorized as primary and secondary. Can you hear me? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So primary, according to this, what are primary activities and what are secondary activities? I'm writing the primary activities first in shortcut. Inbound logistics. Have you heard about this? Inbound logistics.
Yes, sir.
Operations. I will just share my screen once I finish writing this, so that you will have a clear picture, more clearer picture. Inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, services. 5 activities. These 5 activities are termed as primary activities. Similarly, there are 4 activities in value chain which are considered to be secondary activities in a company. They are firm's infrastructure, FI, then HRM, human resource management, then your procurement and technology that you are using in the organization. The top 4 are said to be secondary activities. The bottom 5 are said to be primary activities. I'm just sharing my screen to show you how this looks. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Instead of board, if it is not clear, I would like to show it in the PPT, how it looks. Let me just open it. Okay, can you all see my screen?
No, sir. No, sir.
Can you see it now?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, if you can see my pointer moving on the screen. See, this is what is value chain given or proposed by Michael Porter. Can you see this? The top 4 are said to be secondary activities or support activities in an organization, and the bottom 5, inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and services. Can you see this? Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, why are we talking about this value chain analysis here? It is because in terms of supply chain, when the company decides, when the company should actually decide, should it actually make the product or should it buy it from others? So if anyone wants for reference, you can take a screenshot of this. I'm going to close it. I'm going to stop this sharing for now. Okay. back to the board. See, why are we talking about value chain analysis here? It is because I'm not going to get into the details. It's very essential that you should know what is a value chain. Can you tell what is inbound logistics? What is inbound logistics? Inbound logistics. Operations, outbound logistics. Inbound logistics, anyone? You know, you don't know, you let me know fast quickly so that I'll fast it. You don't know what is inbound logistics? See, inbound logistics is from the supply chain point of view, if you see. From the supply chain point of view, what are the important activities in supply chain? I'm writing here. Important activities in supply chain, you have vendors. Do you have vendors or suppliers? In supply chain, do you have vendors and suppliers?
Yes.
Then you have a manufacturer, then you have a distributor, then it is customer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You need raw materials to manufacture. So raw materials have to come from outside to your company. Coming to your company, inbound. Your company it is coming towards your company. That is why it is called as inbound. You understood? All
Yes,
those
sir.
activities which are coming to your company, manufacturing unit, those activities become inbound activities. So raw materials coming into your organization, that is inbound logistics for you. Okay? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then manufacturing operations is everything that you do here to manufacture the product, convert raw materials into finished goods. All those activities that are performed there comes under this manufacturing. Also called as operations in value chain diagram. Okay. So inbound logistics, operations is manufacturing, outbound logistics distribution. Outbound logistics is once the product is ready to sell, you have to send it from your company to the markets. So sending your product from your company to the market is what is outbound logistics. Is this clear?
Sir, एक बार और sir.
Which one? Inbound or outbound?
Outbound.
Outbound means, inbound means raw materials coming to your company. Okay. Outbound means finished goods. Finished goods you have to sell it in the market.
मतलब सर जैसे कोई प्रोडक्ट, जैसे सपोज दैट अगर मैं रेस्टोरेंट खोलती हूँ और जो भी रॉ मटेरियल्स लाती हूँ और उसका मटेरियल बना के जो मैं मार्केट में सर्व करती हूँ, तो वो आउटबाउंड हो गया.
No, that depends on what company you are.
सर सपोज दैट मेरा रेस्टोरेंट है और मैंने रॉ मटेरियल मंगाया, तो वो मेरा इनबाउंड हो गया. और उस रॉ मटेरियल से जो मैंने प्रोडक्ट बना के मार्केट में सेल किया, वो आउटबाउंड हो गया.
Yeah. Whatever you are selling to the market is what is outbound from your company. You have to from your company.
सपोज दैट मैं पिज्जा हट खोली हूँ और मैं पिज्जा के साथ ओवन वगैरह जो भी मटेरियल है, जो भी ब्रेड है, गार्लिक है, वो मंगाया, वो इनबाउंड हो गया. और उससे पिज्जा में जो बना के सेल कर रहे हो, आउटबाउंड हो गया.
Yeah, right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So you have inbound logistics, operations is manufacturing, outbound logistics is sending it to the markets, from your organization to the markets. Now, what is this marketing and sales and services? So outbound is going out of your organization is what is outbound. Okay, going out of your company is what is outbound. You also do advertising for your products and then sell. So all those advertising, marketing related activities is this part. Okay. Yeah, you are listening. Not listening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And finally, services. See, certain products, if you look at consumer durables, products which last for a long time, like for example, you buy ACs, you buy TVs, you buy mobile phones. They also need service from time to time.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That is what is this. Okay. So these are these activities, these 5 activities: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales and services. These are considered to be very primary activities to the company. They are considered to be very primary. They have to concentrate highly on this. Okay. Now, to perform all these primary activities, are you all with me? Are you all listening?
Yes, sir.
To perform all these activities, we need certain support activities in the company also. That is what I wrote on the top. To perform all this,
सर वो मार्केटिंग एंड सेल्स और सर्विस तीनों से थोड़ा अगेन रिपीट करेंगे.
Yeah, see, marketing and sales, what happens is your product is ready for selling. Your manufactured product is ready for selling. Now, the product that is ready for selling, you are ready to send it to the market. But people should know about your product, right? Now, the marker is there. If I'm coming with a new marker saying MR marker, my name is M. Rajesh, so I'm coming with MR marker. Will people know about MR marker if I don't advertise? I should create awareness in people, right? About my product. So that creating awareness and all is done through advertising. That is a marketing activity.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's what we do here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So you have to market. And once you market, you sell your.
Okay, sir.
You are talking about sales or service?
Yeah.
Sales.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So marketing is you actually advertise your product, sales, promotion, everything you do, create awareness. Once that is done, and if your product is available in the market, then people will buy. That is what is sales.
Sales, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is?
And once the product, then they buy the product, it also needs service. That is what is the service.
Yes, yes, I'm good. Yes, sir. Thank you.
To perform all these primary activities, the company also needs some support activities. It needs support. Now, what kind of support? All those support activities are considered to be secondary activities. Now, to do all this, we need technology. Now, we are highly using technology. Yes or no? The coordination between all these primary activities is done through technology, digital means. You all agree?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
And to perform all this, you need a firm infrastructure, company's infrastructure. You need a building, you need machines and all. That is what is this firm infrastructure. You are listening. So firm infrastructure,
Yes,
human resource management is people. Your people who work in the organization, your technology, and your procurement strategies. How are you procuring people, raw materials, everything into your organization? These are all considered to be support activities. Now, only if the support activities are there, your primary activities can function properly. That's what this value chain talks about. This is actually called as Michael Porter's value chain analysis of a company. Did you get the value chain concept? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
All the activities in company are categorized as primary, secondary. What are primary? What are secondary? You should know.
Sir, यहाँ पे सर, hello sir, यहाँ operation का sir क्या हुआ?
Where is this one?
Operation sir, operation.
Yeah, inbound logistics, after inbound logistics, operation. Operations.
Yeah.
Operations.
Sir, उसको explain करेंगे sir, operation को.
The operations it is the process of converting raw materials into finished goods. In other words, manufacturing of the product is what is operations.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, but what analyze by this?
Can you please come again? You are not audible. Others, can you hear?
No, sir.
If you can hear, can you please repeat, or if you can write in the chat, I will be able to answer. What is he saying? What is he asking? I am not. I did not get.
हैदर सैयद क्या बोल रहा सर? ये पूछ रहे हैं अंकल.
Yes, Rahul. What is he saying?
Sir, not his voice is not audible, sir.
What we analyze by this? That's what I'm saying. Okay. Understood. See, through value chain analysis, why are we discussing value chain analysis? Is what you're asking, right? Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Hello.
That's what I'm going to tell you now. See, through value chain analysis, what we do. Okay, now listen. If you know this is value chain analysis, I told you in supply chain management, make or buy. Should you make something or should you buy it from others? That decision you have to make. Now, the decision that you have to make or buy decision, you have to do that decision making for all the activities in your value chain. It is not that only for some components you do. For all the elements in your value chain, these are all called as elements of value chain. How many elements are there? How many components are there in value chain? There are 9. Can you see 9 elements? 5 primary and 4 secondary. 5 primary activities and 4 secondary activities. For all the 9 activities in the value chain, when you go for make or buy decision in the company using supply chain concepts, you have to do make or buy decision for each element in the value chain. For every element in the value chain, you have to see. Are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is why we are talking about value chain here. So for everything, inbound logistics, we are talking about bringing raw materials from supplier to you. Should you have your own truck or should you employ some transport organization to do it? Are you understanding? I'm giving you an example. Are you listening?
Sir, please repeat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm repeating. I'm saying make or buy decision. This you understood. What is this make or buy?
Yes.
You understand what is make or buy? Should you make the product with your own money, or should you get it done through someone? That is what is make or buy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying make or buy decision has to be taken for all the activities in the value chain. I'm giving you an example how it goes. If I'm talking about the first primary activity, what is the first primary activity in value chain? What is the first primary activity in value chain is inbound logistics. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Through inbound logistics, what are we doing? We are bringing raw materials from supplier to our company. Is that what is inbound logistics? Are you all agreeing with me? Inbound logistics. Inbound logistics means from supplier I'm bringing some raw materials to my company. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what we have to do in make or buy decision is, when I'm bringing some raw materials from supplier to my organization, should I have my own truck to bring that material, or should I give this contract to a transport agency? You understood? There are two ways of bringing raw materials. One is you can have your own truck, send it to the supplier, bring all the raw materials, and then it can move to and fro. It's your own truck. You purchase the truck. You understood? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alternatively, what you can do is, instead of buying the truck and keeping it in your company, you can go into contract with the supplier, with the transport agency, and ask him to bring your raw materials and drop, and you pay for them. That is also possible.
Yes, sir.
So now, what is make and what is buy? In my truck example, bringing raw materials, here what is making and what is buying?
Sir, making means
if you have your own truck, what is it? Is it make or buy?
Make, sir.
It is make. You have your own truck. You are doing it for yourself. Okay.
Yes.
That is what is making. If you are buying means you are giving it to someone else and asking you to do that work for you. That is what is buying. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Now this concept, what I told you now, in terms of truck, that has to be applied to every element in the value chain. For every element in the value chain, you have to do that. Should you do or should you buy? Should you do or should you buy? For example, HRM. Let me take the example of HRM. Can you see HRM here?
Yes, sir.
So HRM activities, you have many manpower agencies outside, manpower consultancies which will provide workforce, contract workforce. Yes, sir.
Like HR consultancy.
Yeah, HR consultancies, right? I'm referring to that. Yes. So should you have your own established HR department, or should you give your HR work to a consultant? That is possible. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. You
can either have an established HR department in your company, or outsource your HR activities to a consultant who is specialized in HR. Is that possible? You have to tell me, is that possible or not?
Possible, sir.
That's what we do. That's why we discuss value chain. So make or buy decisions in company related to supply chain, to what do you apply? You have to apply make or buy decision to all the activities in the value chain. Inbound logistics, how should you do? Should you have your own trucks? Should you have a third party logistics? Same thing with manufacturing. If you are manufacturing, for example, this marker in my hand, should you manufacture all the parts, or should you get this cap manufactured by someone, some plastic company, and should you only concentrate on the ink? That is possible, yes or no? If you are manufacturing a marker like this, should you manufacture all the parts, or should you get it done some parts through some other people outside? So that is what you have to decide for all the activities in the value chain. Have you understood? Have you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if this is the case, if you are supposed to make or buy decisions to all the activities in the value chain, how do you decide? Now, this is one area wherein value chain analysis is one area wherein which will help you to find out what are your primary activities and what are your secondary activities also in the company. Okay. Now, if you know this, then you have to decide whether you have to make or buy based on your agency cost and transaction cost for the company. Now, what is agency cost and what is transaction cost? I'm going to tell what is agency, what is transaction cost, and then we'll immediately start discussing the case study. I'm saying whether you should make something in the company or should you buy it from others, that will depend upon the agency cost and the transaction cost. What is agency cost and what is transaction cost from company point of view? Anyone who can answer? What is agency cost and what is transaction cost?
Sir, maybe agency cost is that we make by ourselves. Means if we having truck by of our which we use for logistics, then
Yes,
that
yes.
will become in agency cost. And if we just buy some contractor to do that supply to our supply material to our company, then that will be transactional cost.
Okay, right.
The
Absolutely right.
capital which we apply in the agency, sir, that is called as agency cost, I think.
No, no, no. No, you should not confuse yourself like that. Agency cost is not employing an agent. I'm saying agency cost, AG cost, and I'm saying transaction cost, TRAN, transaction cost. See, actually, this is an economics concept which you might have heard in economics. You might have heard in economics, but still, I'm going to repeat it. Agency cost and transaction cost. See, if you are making the product, you are not getting it like in the example that I told you. Are you going to bring the raw materials in your own truck, or are you giving it to a third party logistics to bring the material? You remember this example that I was telling you just before this? Do you remember? Yes or no? Someone wrote internal company expenses. Yes. What is it? Agency cost or transaction cost? Internal company expenses is what?
Agency cost.
It is agency cost, right? See the truck example. If I have my own truck, and if I'm bringing the raw materials from the supplier, I will incur some money there. I have to buy the truck first and then use it for transportation, the diesel and everything. So that cost, if I'm doing it all by myself, what is the cost incurred is what is agency cost. Internally, if you do yourself, whatever money that you incur in that is what is called as agency cost. You understood? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
You did not understand what is agency cost? See, agency cost is a cost wherein if you do the work yourself without giving to any third party, how much cost is it? How much money are you spending on that is what is agency cost. You understood now? Yes or no? I'm saying I'm talking about. If you do it yourself without giving it to any other outside people, it is called as agency cost. If you are doing it by yourself, that is what is agency cost. On the contrary, transaction cost is the cost which you incur when you get your work done through a third party with someone else. If you get your work done through someone else, whatever money you are spending is what is transaction cost. Now you got. See, if I have my own truck, and if I'm bringing raw materials from supplier to my company, let me assume that for every trip, including the truck expenses, I am incurring 10,000 rupees for every trip. Are you listening? This is what is agency cost. If I have my own truck and for every trip 10,000 rupees I am spending. But if I get the same raw material by giving contract to someone else outside there are so many transport agencies. If I give this contract to a transport agency to bring my raw materials from the supplier to my company, it is only costing me 7,500 per trip. Are you understanding what I meant here?
Can you repeat again? Transaction cost. What is transaction cost?
If you get your work done, any work in your organization done through someone else out of your organization, with someone else out of your organization, not by yourself. You are doing it through someone else from outside your organization. The money that you spend on that is what is called as transaction cost.
Any example?
Example is the raw materials. I don't have my own truck. I will ask a contractor, transport agency, to bring my raw materials from supplier to my company.
Okay, sir.
Now what I'm doing, I'm asking the transport agency to bring my material. Okay, transporter. Lorry drivers, for example. Let me put it in more simple words if you want. I don't have my own truck. I have to employ a lorry for bringing my goods, raw materials. So if I'm employing a lorry outside, then it is costing me for one trip 7,500. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But if I have my own truck, I'll buy my truck and keep it in my company. Okay. Then for each trip, this is the cost. To go and bring the raw materials, this is the cost, 10,000. You understood agency cost and transaction cost? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All of you. See, if you know what is agency cost and what is transaction cost, Your make or buy decision is based on this agency and transaction cost. If your agency cost AG is less than your transaction cost, are you able to see this? AG less than transaction cost? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Will you make the product or will you buy the product? If your agency cost is less than transaction, should you make or should you buy?
Make, sir.
If your agency cost is greater than transaction cost, should you make or buy? Tell me now.
Buy, sir.
If talk about the first one, agency cost is less than transaction cost. If you are getting your work, agency cost is if you are getting your work done through outside people. If you are getting your work done through outside people, then you are spending less money than what you are doing yourself. Then you should make it or you should buy it.
Not buy, sir.
Are we on the same line?
Make.
Yes.
Sir, make.
We are hiring someone. Transaction. No. See, agency cost is we are making ourselves. Are you there? Are you going in the wrong track? Are you listening? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Agency
Yes, sir.
cost
We do
is-
understand.
No,
Sir,
please. Agency
make.
cost is we are doing it ourselves. Transaction cost is we are getting it through someone else outside.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now you understood. Now if
Yes, sir.
agency cost means internally if I am making, the cost is less than the transaction cost. If I am giving it outside,
We
then
make it, sir.
and we are
Make
going
it.
to make it. Then we are going to make it. If the agency cost is internally, if you are making it, the cost, you are doing it. If it is greater than your transaction cost, then should you make or buy?
We buy.
We have to buy actually. See, this is a common platform on which we decide whether we have to make or buy. But this is not an and here. If you understood what is agency cost and what is transaction cost, defining this is not tough. If agency cost is less than transaction cost, we have to make the product. If the agency cost is greater than transaction cost, we have to buy the product. This is simple. But for each of these concepts, there are certain advantages and disadvantages. Can you tell what are the advantages and what are disadvantages? If I go with making the product, can you tell what is the advantage and what is disadvantage? If I go with buying the product, can you tell what is the advantage, what is the disadvantage? You all got my question? Did you get my question? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying this is the rule how you are deciding making or buying. But if you go with making with this rule, buying with this rule, there are benefits, there are disadvantages also. What are those? If you know. If we buy it, if we buy the product, our internal information is known to the outsider. That's what you are saying. Okay, agreed to some extent. If we buy it, company's administrative cost reduces. Okay, you are saving some money. You are saving some money because this is the relation. Agreed.
Sir, need huge amount of capital for making,
For
and
making you need
very
more-
less capital.
Okay.
Capital.
Okay. If you are making it, you need a lot of capital. But if you are buying it, you don't need that much capital. That's what you are saying.
Yeah, and machinery and tools.
Okay. Anything else? See, if you are making the product and if you are buying the product, let us look at from the core of business. I'm making a sentence. I'm actually framing a sentence. You have to tell me how it goes with this making and buying. Can innovation and creativity happen when you make the product? Can innovation and creativity in your product? This is a product, right? Can you see the marker in my hand? Red marker.
Yes, sir.
Today's customers are in such a way that they always are looking for something new in the product. They don't want the same old things. They want something new always in the product. You agree with me my statement or not? Do you all agree with my statement? Our customers, we all as customers Are we looking for something new in the product, or we want to use the age-old products? Are we looking for something new?
New, sir. Sir, something new.
We always look for something new in the product. If that is the case, innovation and creativity are very important for a product. You have to keep on innovating. That is why you get so many new features in the mobile phone. Why is that people did not stop only with communication, mobile phone only for talking? Why did you get a camera? Why did you get a music system? Why did you get so many tracking systems? Why did you get a torchlight in mobile phone? All these are innovations in mobile phone. You all agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So innovation and creativity plays a very important role from a product point of view. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Innovation and creativity, will it happen if you make the product or if you buy the product?
Make the product, sir. Make,
sir.
If you make the product, there will be a lot of innovation and creativity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am saying it will be the opposite.
Why, sir?
I am saying if you make the product, there will not be high innovation and creativity. If you are doing it all by yourself, there is not going to be more creativity and innovation in your product. But if you get it from a person who is an expert in that area from outside, there will be more creativity and innovation is what I am saying.
So expenses costs.
How many of you go with my statement? How many of you contradict my statement?
So I agree with you.
Expenses is high, sir. Someone other buy this product.
Okay, let me give you an example. You know Tata Motors?
Yes.
You all know Tata Motors.
Yes,
do you know
yes,
Tata
sir.
Motors? Do you know that Tata Motors doesn't make its own engine, car engines? It will not make its own car engine. The design and the parts of the car engine actually are designed by Fiat. You know Fiat F-I-A-T?
Yes, sir.
Fiat cars. Tata Motors, though we know it is a car making company, automobile company in India, it doesn't make its own engine. Design of the engine also it will not make. The designing and making of the engine is actually given to Fiat, F-I-A-T. You got this? Are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This is one example I gave you. Similarly, there are many other examples.
Yes, sir. Car
Go
company not make the tire.
Okay, car company will not make the tire. It is only buying tire from some other
others. Yes.
Now see, if you think Hero Honda is manufacturing tires, will it concentrate on tires or will it concentrate on bike? Will it concentrate on engine? If tire company is manufacturing tires, will there be innovation in the tire? Will there be something new in the tire? Or will Hero Honda make tires? Or do you think Hero Honda will make tires? It will be more innovative. Or a tire company is making tire, it will be more innovative. What do you think?
Tire company, sir.
That is the point that I want to make. Now see, here we are deciding tire company because tire company already has the technology. They are completely into tires only.
Yes.
It is depending upon the specialization they are in. Yes or no? Same thing with Fiat and Tata Motors. They are specialized in designing of engines. So what did it do? Though Tata Motors is manufacturing the cars, the part of that car, which is an engine, it is not manufactured by itself. It is getting done through others. You got it? Not only just the engine. There are many other components in a car. There are many other components in a bike. Yes or no?
Yes.
There are various components in a computer. In a computer, is a computer company making everything, or is it buying the motherboard from someone? Is it buying the processor from someone? Someone is very famous in the world. Who is famous for processor?
Intel, sir. Ryzen, Intel.
Will Intel be very innovative in processor manufacturing or processor development, or will some say HCL or say Dell will be very creative in processors? Which one will be more creative?
Intel, sir.
That is the point that I want to make. That is the point I want to make when it comes to innovation and creativity. When you make, it will be something different. When you buy, it will be something different. Are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, there is a little more extension that we have to discuss. It's not only here, but in today's class, I only told you two concepts. One is the main concept that we are discussing is, should a company make the product by itself or should it get it done through someone else, which is called as outsourcing. Okay. So to decide on that, we should know the value chain analysis of a business. According to value chain analysis of business, all the activities in business are categorized as primary activities and secondary activities. For each activity in value chain, you have to do this make or buy decision. You have to do for every activity in value chain. Now, how do you decide whether you have to make or buy? You decide it on the basis of your agency cost and transaction cost. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
If your agency cost is less than, if agency cost is if you make the product internally, what is the cost? If you get the product done from outside, what is the cost? If the agency cost is less than transaction cost, you actually make the product. If your agency cost is greater than the transaction cost, you actually buy the product, right? Apart from this agency cost and transaction cost, there are also few other parameters on which you decide whether you have to make or buy. Just not based on the cost. There are other elements also which you have to decide, which you have to take into consideration to decide whether you have to make or buy. What are those other factors? Can you tell?
Repeat second word.
Can you please repeat?
Yes, sir.
Shantosh.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you repeat?
Oh, you are asking me to repeat?
Yes, yes.
I am saying other than transaction cost and agency cost to decide whether you make a product or buy a product, there are other factors also that you should consider to make or buy a product. What are the other factors other than agency cost and transaction cost? Do you know?
Time.
Time.
खुद पे बनाने के लिए सर खुद पे बनाने के लिए प्लान यूनिट बनाना पड़ेगा, बहुत बड़ा प्लान लगाना पड़ेगा. तो बाय
Okay. Like I told you the example of tires. Hero Honda is not an expert in tire, whereas Apollo or Seat or MRF is an expert in tire.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that expertise, the expertise in making that certain product, that will play an important role in making or buying. Will you agree? Will you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Your expertise in making a product. Because Fiat is an expert in terms of engine designs, Tata Motors have employed it, or it went into a contract with Fiat. Same thing with call centers. How do you prefer a call center? Because that call center is very good in terms of handling calls. So you choose a call center. Your understanding, yes or no? There are many call centers outside. Why do you choose only one call center? Because you feel that they are experts in handling calls. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the area of expertise also plays a very important role in making or buying. You are listening? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There are two more factors. What are these two factors? We'll discuss in the next class. You have any doubt in the concepts that we discussed so far? Please let me know. Yeah, please, anyone has another class, please you can leave. No problem. You can leave. Any doubts you have? If you don't have any doubts, we'll discuss Mumbai Dabbawala's case for the next 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's start with that Mumbai Dabbawala's case. Can you give a rough estimate? Whoever went through the case, can you just tell me what is the case about? Okay, before answering, for the benefit of everyone else in this group today, whoever is there, because most of you were not there yesterday. See, in the Canvas material that is shared to you, there are two cases. One of the case studies, Mumbai Dabbawala's case. So I asked the students who are present. Yes, Rahul.
Sir, one question regarding that transactional make and buy.
Go ahead, Rahul.
Sir, if a company want to build a trust among the customers that they are manufacturing the product and they want to deliver it by themselves only.
Okay.
But the transactional cost for them for providing that by their own is maximum. So should they buy in that case, or they just go with the high cost to just provide product to the customer, as they just want to build a trust among their customers?
Yeah, see, building trust among the customers need not necessarily be only by manufacturing, Rahul. I'll tell you the example. Tell me the brand that you like in terms of two-wheelers.
Sir, Pulsar.
You like Bajaj Pulsar?
Yes, sir.
So Bajaj Pulsar, Bajaj is the brand that you're adopting, right?
Yes, sir.
And why are you trusting? You also have this trust on that, saying that if it is buying a tire or if it is buying a battery, you can build trust by saying that you buy the best in the industry. Now, battery or Bajaj is not going to manufacture the battery that we are using in our bikes. Yes or no? Either it should use Amarons or it should use Exide. That's what it's doing. So when you know Amaron and Exide are the two important market players in terms of batteries.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Bajaj will go in such a way that it will choose the best in the market when it is buying. It's not going to go with the secondary or third class category. When you are trying to outsource and get the products from outside, you know if Amaron and Excite are the best batteries, and if you classify them and if you try to find out which one is best, you choose the best and use it in your vehicle, and so people are trusting you.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, in this time I have one GD round session, so can I leave?
Go ahead. Yeah, you can. Please go.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All the best. Rahul, am I clear in terms of
yes, sir, yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Trust need not necessarily be only by you manufacturing. When you're bringing products from outside, you can bring the best products for the customers.
Yes, sir.
In that way also you can build trust.
But sir, sometimes happen that if the particular company is providing you that product, then the people are preferring that more rather than others.
No,
so
go ahead.
I will give example of Lenovo laptops that one of my friend have buy that, and he's not able to go to that their center. So they told us, just sir, tell us that which computer you want to buy. We will provide you in your native place. That's so he liked that they are providing by themselves in his own place. He don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, that is one big problem that companies should address. See, that's why even when you are buying mobile phones also, you will see how many service centers are there. One of the important criteria with which you choose a brand of mobile phone is the number of service centers.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes,
so,
sir.
So this is one attribute that customers are looking for. You should provide as a company. If you don't provide as a company, if Lenovo is not providing, so people are not buying. That is one reason. Now, the same example that you gave, when you buy a mobile phone also, that's what happens. Others can just add to my notion. When you are buying mobile phones, one important attribute that we look for, apart from all the features, price and all, is, does this mobile phone have enough service centers or not? Are we looking for that or not? Others, are we looking for the number of service centers that are there when you are buying the mobile phone? Yes, no?
Sir, mostly go for the features rather than customer care. If the phone is good and attracting the customer, they will go for the particular phone. They will not consider the service center.
No, then Rahul, then you are not making the right choice. Today we are in a world wherein service centers are very important. You look at any product, whether it is laptop or desktops or even the big ACs and refrigerators, along with the product and its features and its price, people are also looking at the service. That's why I told customer service is very important. Remember, service center is an important attribute of selling and buying a product. Customer service is an important attribute of buying and selling activity today.
Yes, sir. That means if a customer is buying only by see the feature of a particular product rather than considering the service center for that.
Yes.
It will be a wrong choice for him.
No, it's not a wrong choice. It should be an experience. Next time if you are buying a TV, for example, let me say you are buying an MI TV.
Yes, sir.
Immediately you look for service centers because of your experience now.
Yes, sir.
So it's all a learning experience. But remember, we already crossed that era wherein now customer service became an important attribute of selling activity. People have to look at the customer service. Earlier, the same concept we looked at guarantee and warranty. You remember, you buy an iron box, you buy anything small electronic item, you immediately ask for what is the guarantee, what is the warranty. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Now, when in the digital era, we are not only concentrating on guarantee and warranty, we are talking about customer service points. That is where we moved into. Rahul.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so that is about the concepts that we discussed today. So people, whoever went through that Mumbai Dabbawala's case, can you just give a brief of what is that case about? Just brief on what is that case about. How many of them are there in the beginning? I think only Naveen and Rahul told that you went through the case. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Should we discuss the case, or will you study again and come? What should we do? We'll discuss.
Sir, discuss now, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, Naveen.
We can discuss briefly in the next class.
We'll discuss it in the next class. Why not now, Naveen?
Yeah, sir. So,
Naveen, why not?
the other students will also.
Yeah, that's what
read the
I thought. That's what I thought. Other students also will study and come. But unfortunately, I have to cancel tomorrow's class. I'm announcing now itself. Due to change in certain travel plans, I will not be able to handle the class tomorrow at 2:30 to 4. So I'll inform the campus manager regarding this. So tomorrow you may not have a class, but you may have a class again on Monday.
Okay, sir.
So we'll have a class on Monday back.
Okay, sir.
Not tomorrow. So I'll inform the campus manager, and I'm informing it well in advance to you also. So 2:30 to 2:30 to 4. I will not be able to handle tomorrow because of the change in my travel plans. So if you are not discussing the case today, we'll only be able to discuss it on either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, according to how they are adjusting the classes. If they are not giving me a class on Saturday or Sunday, I am expecting a class on Monday again. Oh, I think till Sunday it is holidays for you all. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then in that case, definitely it will be Monday only. Okay, quickly tell me, should we discuss? Should we not discuss? Should I give you the important concepts in the case?
Yes, sir. Give us concept, sir.
Okay. See, that case, I asked you in the beginning, is the case talking about the entire supply chain of something, or is it talking about a particular thing in supply chain? If I'm talking about supply chain, you will have suppliers, you will have manufacturers, you will have distributors, you will have customers. I hope you all know how do you analyze a case. Do you all know how to analyze a case?
Retailer.
Yeah, distributors are retailers and both. Wholesalers and retailers together are distributors. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Wholesalers and retailers together are distributors. I hope can I expect that, or am I right if I'm saying that you all know how to analyze a case? Do you all know how to analyze a case? Okay. What is the problem or what is the need that this particular Mumbai Dabbawala's case is trying to fulfill? What is the need or the problem that Mumbai Dabbawala's is trying to fulfill? See, any case we look from a problem or a need point of view. To provide hot lunch.
Homemade food.
Absolutely right. Is it a need? Is it a need or a problem that people are facing? Hot lunch.
The need, sir.
This particular case, it is actually addressing a need that people have. Okay, it's not a problem, but it is a need that people have. They want to have hot lunch. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, the second question is, any case you have to look from this angle. Is it a need or a problem that the case is addressing? Okay. Once you decide that, you have to go to the concept, whether it's a HR case or finance case or whatever is the case. If this is supply chain case, because we are discussing it in supply chain, the same thing can be discussed in other areas also. It can be discussed in HRM also. Mumbai Dabbawalas can be discussed in HRM also, because there are certain good HR practices in that case. Are you all listening? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in supply chain, is this case talking about all the elements of supply chain, or is it talking about only some parts?
Some parts, sir.
See,
some parts, sir.
If you go through the Mumbai Dabbawala's case, that's why I want you to go through. If you go through this case, actually Mumbai Dabbawala's case is based on this element of supply chain, distribution network. Are you listening? The Mumbai Dabbawala's case study is not concentrating on all suppliers, manufacturers, and customers. It is actually concentrating on the distribution network. Okay. So this is one thing we should know. Now, apart from this, the other important things are, you will come across two important logistics terms in this case study called as, one is called as milk run.
Yes, sir.
MILK, milk run distribution system. This is one kind of distribution system that you will be learning in logistics. There is also one more system called as hub and spoke. Hub and spoke distribution system. These are two important concepts that you will be learning through this case study. Two important distribution concepts. One is milk run distribution system. The other one is hub and spoke distribution system. What are these? We will discuss that in this case study. What else can you discuss? I told you there are certain good HR practices in this case. What are those HR practices? We will see. And how did Mumbai? We'll also discuss what is Six Sigma. What is Six Sigma quality standard through this case study. And we'll also discuss what is the reason for success of this concept. Mumbai Dibbawalas, even though we are in the technologically advanced world, how are they still surviving and how is it a success? What are the reasons why it is a success? We will discuss that also in this case. Okay, so I did not give anything in detail. I told you what are the things that you can expect out of this case. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So for the next class, if the same strength is there, around 40, 45, I want all of you to go through the case study and come. Then we'll discuss. Anything else that you want me to add? Any doubts in today's class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, our next two classes would go like this. One class we'll spend, not the complete class, at least half class we'll spend on discussing this Mumbai Dabbawala's case study. Then the next class would be on inventory management, materials management. In supply chain materials management, inventory management is an important concept, and the various aspects are very important. So these are the two important concepts that we'll be discussing in the next two classes. So people who wants to know about inventory management and this case study can attend. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have any doubts, I'm going to close the session for today. If you have any doubts, even general management.
No, sir.
Even general management concept, because we have 10 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then happy Diwali to you all.
Thank you, sir. Same to you, sir.
Same to you, sir. Happy Diwali, sir.
Thank you all. We'll meet in the next
Happy
class.
Diwali, sir.
Yeah, thank
Happy
you.
Diwali, sir.
Happy Diwali, sir.
Lovely, sir.
Thank you all. We'll meet in the next class.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.